Right, so in today's video I'm going to be going over everything that you should be doing in February to prepare for the upcoming lawn care season, including key maintenance on your tools and what you should and shouldn't be doing with your lawn. I'm going to start off with the strimmer and I'm going to show you how you can easily replace the line that's inside of your strimmer. So you take this mechanism out. When you come to reline it, what you've got to do is take your line and put it through one of the little holes either on this side or on this side. You may not be able to see it properly on camera, but the line that I've bought is slightly too thick for the actual mechanism that I've got. So all I did was I went through with a knife, I shaved it down a little bit to the point where now it's able to, you can see it's bent ready because I've tested it. With a bit of force, get it into the mechanism. That is going absolutely nowhere. Now on the top you've got little arrows which you should hopefully be able to see, and they'll tell you which way to wind the spool. So wrapping it round, and you've got to be really careful to keep it as neat and as tidy as you can with the line. If you don't, it's going to give you a little bit of trouble once you start strimming, and may lead to some issues, especially as the line starts to reduce in length over time like it naturally does. Freddie, hey. What are you doing? Ready? In. You may have been able to see them. The dog's just been digging a hole for no apparent reason, trying to hide the biggest dog toy known to man, that it seems like. Right, I'm starting again because the dog stressed me out. Now I've clipped it into this just whilst I get it onto the strimmer, but once it's in there, I'm going to unclip that. I'm not going to leave it clipped onto this. Like I said before, I'm going to remove the line from this little plastic clasp, pull it taut. Now you can see I've got the line sticking out, and make sure that it's long enough. If it's not, what you can do is, most trimmers should have one, a little button there. If you press it, it'll click, and it'll twist around, giving you a little bit more line. Now I've got a blade here which you can't really see, but that, as soon as it starts to spin, it's going to cut that part off. So I'm going to do that now, just to get it set up and ready. Oh, and don't forget to replace the cap. And there we go, working perfect, and it's cut to exactly the right length. Something else that you need to definitely be doing as well is getting rid of all of this grass and dirt, all the build-up that's been there from the previous gardening season. So I've got myself the trusty toothbrush. I'll get as much off as I can with the brush, and I come in with this to all the little crevices and tidy it all up. Got some warm soapy water to try and loosen some of that stubborn grass and dirt from last year. There we go, the strimmer's looking absolutely perfect. The soap definitely helped. Just make sure you don't get it inside the motor, because that's just bad news. Now next, onto the lawnmower. Now you've got to be really careful, especially if you've got a cordless model like this. You don't want to be getting anything inside of here, or moisture. So I'm going to go over with a damp cloth, just get rid of all the dust, all the debris off the top. Then we'll have a look at the bottom. Now, quite a big problem you can run into when you are cutting your lawn, particularly when it's the summer and you're cutting it 2-3 times a week, is this stuff starts to build up. All this is made up of is all the grass and dirt and things that are chucked against this with the power of the blades. And you can see how thick it gets there on the walls. That gets in the way of your mow blades, really starts to prevent them from spinning the way that they should. So I'm going to take all of this off, get it all looking nice and tidy. Very careful with the soapy water again, you don't want to get any in the motor. Now at this stage you can take the blade off and you can sharpen the blade. However, this is fairly new, this lawnmower. It's not too blunt, to be honest. It's okay for now. It may be something I'll look to do towards the end of spring, before the summer, when I start to cut the grass more than once a week. Right, so we're going to be cutting the lawn for the first time this year. Now, word of caution, it is only February, so the grass isn't in its active sort of growing phase as of yet. So the main aim of today is to take the tips off the grass, see what the damage is in terms of weeds, and see how much moss we have in the lawn too. Now, something just to quickly mention, you're going to want to be cutting your lawn on quite a high setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on the highest setting, see how much it takes off. If it's only taking a tiny amount off, I'll move down to number 4. But I'm going to be going no lower than this setting today because, like I said, it's just about removing the tips. The well-known rule with cutting your grass is only take off the top third maximum of that grass blade, because the grass blade is the plant, and the more you take off, the more stress you're going to put the grass under. And particularly at a time now like Feb, when the lawn really isn't growing a whole lot, you don't want to be taking off too much because you want the grass to be able to recover itself. So you can see we've not really taken a lot off, we've only taken the very tips off those grass blades. Now, it does look pretty poor from looking around. You can see there's quite a few bare patches here, some dips in the lawn, and you can just see how much dead grass and things there actually is knocking about. It has revealed a few more different types of weeds. So what I'm going to do now that I've cut the lawn, is I'm going to go over with the weed pulling tool and remove any of the bigger weeds that I can at the moment. The weeds that I'm not going to be removing are things like the creeping clover type weeds, because they're more easily removed when it comes to scarifying later in the season. If you haven't got a tool like this for pulling weeds, then you definitely need to be investing in one. I think this cost about £25 about 2 years ago, so I mean, with the prices of inflation, they've probably gone up quite significantly since then, but they do come in really handy for pulling weeds because it takes a lot of the stem out. Now, it's not guaranteed, it's not getting all of the stem 100% of the time, however, they do come in really useful. So there we go, that's the brand that it is. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to this lawn here at the top as I did to the lawn at the front. And I'll save pulling any of these weeds until I've cut the entire thing on the highest setting. See there how much of the actual stem's being brought out. It's the entire weed. So that one coming back. Now this one is in a complete state, so to be honest, I'm not sure how much is going to come off. I'm going to go on the setting that's slightly lower than the highest one to see what comes off. One thing that I never do in February is fertilise the lawn with a high nitrogen fertiliser, as a product like this will have much more of an impact when it gets warmer as we get further into spring. However, I will be applying liquid seaweed to this lawn in the next couple of weeks, just to give it a boost of nutrients before the lawn care season really kicks off. So, thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully you found it useful. Throughout 2023, I'll be uploading weekly videos explaining exactly how I'll be maintaining my lawns, and this is something that you should be able to follow along with at home too. In the meantime, if you'd like to check out any of my previous videos, such as my garden renovation series or my lawn care tip videos, then head over to my channel, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And finally, thanks for watching.